When I met Ryan, I thought I hit the jackpot. He was charming, attentive, ambitious, the kind of man that made other women do a double take. We met at a friend's engagement party in Boston. He offered to refill my drink, and somehow that turned into 3 hours of talking under string lights. Within a month, we were inseparable. My friends said we looked like a movie couple. I felt like I'd finally found my match. Little did I know, the picture-perfect frame was hiding cracks, tiny ones at first, but deep enough to swallow everything I thought was real. When I met Ryan, I thought I hit the jackpot. He was charming, attentive, ambitious, the kind of man that made other women do a double take. We met at a friend's engagement party in Boston. He offered to refill my drink, and somehow that turned into 3 hours of talking under string lights. Within a month, we were inseparable. My friends said we looked like a movie couple. I felt like I'd finally found my match. Little did I know, the picture-perfect frame was hiding cracks, tiny ones at first, but deep enough to swallow everything I thought was real. I never thought I'd be the kind of woman to snoop, but curiosity can be cruel. One Saturday morning, Ryan left his laptop open while showering. The screen blinked, asking for a password. I hesitated. But the memory of that heart emoji haunted me. I tried his birthday, nothing. My birthday, still nothing. I gave up and felt disgusted with myself. But then, while doing laundry, I found a receipt for a dinner reservation, for 2, at a place we'd never been together. The date? Last Friday. The night he said he was working late. I confronted him. Calmly at first. He said she was just a friend from college visiting town. She needed career advice, he claimed. I nodded, pretending to believe him. That night, I went full detective. A few quick social media searches and I found her, Tara Hollis. She was stunning, all sharp cheekbones and glossy hair. And her recent Instagram post? A photo at the same restaurant, captioned, "Best night ever dizzy." Ryan wasn't in the photo, but her wine glass had lipstick on it, and it wasn't my shade. I asked him straight out, "Are you seeing her?" He looked me in the eye and said no. That's when I knew he was lying. Ryan had a tell, he scratched the back of his neck when he got nervous. He was practically clawing himself. I didn't press further. Not yet. I needed proof. I needed a story that couldn't be rewritten. That weekend, I told him I had to fly to New York for work. Really, I stayed with my friend Kayla across town. If Tara showed up again, I wanted to be ready. Kayla and I parked 2 blocks from Ryan's apartment. I felt ridiculous. Was I really hiding in a car with a coffee thermos, spying on my boyfriend? Around 8 p.m. a sleek silver car pulled up. She stepped out, "Tara." She buzzed in and Ryan answered almost immediately. My chest burned, but I held it in. Kayla grabbed my hand. "Let's get a picture," she whispered. We snapped a few, just in case. Proof. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, wondering how love could turn so quickly into suspicion. Into surveillance. Into war. The next day, I invited Ryan to dinner at our favorite Italian place. I dressed up like I used to when we first met, red lipstick, curls, heels. He seemed caught off guard. "What's the occasion?" he asked. I smiled. Just felt like it. Halfway through the meal, I pulled out my phone. "Do you know someone named Tara Hollis?" I showed him the photo. His face drained. No more lies. Just silence. That silence told me more than any confession. I stood up, left him with the check, and walked out into the night air that never felt colder. Even though I left dinner, I wasn't done. My heart wanted answers. I remembered he once synced his iPad to our shared cloud account. Sure enough, when I opened it, I found messages. Not just to Tara, there were others. Flirtations. Plans. Compliments. My stomach turned as I read them. Some dated back to the beginning of our relationship. My world unraveled with every scroll. I wasn't just betrayed. I had been a placeholder in his game. A beautiful, living lie. Even though I left dinner, I wasn't done. My heart wanted answers. I remembered he once synced his iPad to our shared cloud account. Sure enough, when I opened it, I found messages. Not just to Tara, there were others. Flirtations. Plans. Compliments. My stomach turned as I read them. Some dated back to the beginning of our relationship. My world unraveled with every scroll. I wasn't just betrayed. I had been a placeholder in his game. A beautiful, living lie. A week passed. I blocked him on everything, texts, socials, even email. But one night, I checked my voicemail. There was a message. His voice was cracked, like he'd been crying. I messed up. You were the best thing in my life. Please call me. Even if it's just to say goodbye. I listened to it twice. Then 3 times. I didn't know what I felt, pity? Anger? Regret? But I knew this wasn't over. Not yet. Some stories don't end with a slammed door. After hearing Ryan's voicemail, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying his voice in my head. Did he really regret it, or was this just part of the same pattern? I started doubting myself. Had I ignored red flags from the beginning? I went through old pictures, trying to see what I had missed. One photo hit me like a brick. It was from a weekend trip in Vermont, Ryan smiling, but behind him, barely noticeable, was a reflection in the mirror. A woman. Blonde. Holding a wine glass. Not me. That photo was taken 2 months into our relationship. Instead of calling him back, I wrote him a letter. Not to send, just to get the poison out of my system. I listed every moment he made me feel small, every time I convinced myself I was the problem. Writing it down was harder than I expected. There were good memories, too. He held my hand when I got bad news about my mom, he made pancakes on Sundays, he kissed my forehead like he meant it. But I had to separate those moments from the truth. Just because someone is good to you, doesn't mean they're good for you. Kayla dragged me out to a local wine bar. You need air, she said. I hesitated but went. The place was cozy, full of low light and soft jazz. As we laughed over a bottle of red, I felt a piece of myself coming back. A guy approached our table, friendly, not pushy. He asked if I was single. I paused. It's complicated, I said with a sad smile. He nodded. Aren't we all? We talked for half an hour. I didn't give him my number, but I realized something important. Ryan didn't get to keep my future just because he ruined my past. The next morning, I went for a walk to clear my head. I stopped by a coffee shop I used to avoid, because Ryan used to go there every Thursday. But he wasn't supposed to be part of my routine anymore. As I sipped my cappuccino, I froze. Tara walked in. Alone. She didn't see me. She looked tired, distracted, almost sad. And then I noticed something, no ring. She sat at a table and pulled out her phone. I couldn't stop myself. I walked over and said, You don't know me, but we have something in common. She looked up. and sighed. We sat in silence for a moment before Tara finally spoke. You're the girlfriend, or were? I nodded. And you? She shrugged. I was the other one. But not the only one. She told me she found out about me weeks ago. Ryan said we had grown apart and were on a break. She didn't believe him. She ended things, too. We were both pieces in his puzzle, never meant to fit. There was something oddly healing about talking to her. We weren't enemies, we were collateral damage. As I left, she said, you deserved the truth. Even if it came late.